Welcome back to They Did What? Your source of the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm be covering part 17 of the story. While wife thought her affair was going unnoticed, husband was playing the long game preparing for war. Now guys, I'm sure a bunch of you are probably scratching your head saying, why is there an update this quickly? Because I just did episode 16 yesterday. Well, after the episode from yesterday, which you all recall was quite dramatic with Emily reading her thing and all that and our guy's reaction, this guy got a ton of comments and questions that he wanted to respond to more about what's going on, things like that. And, you know, we all had the biggest question is like, why the heck did he listen to that whole long thing that just tore him apart here? So that's what it is. And that'll be definitely worth your time here. So he says here, shout out to all the guys that have been emailing me, letting me know about this update, because I know you guys want to hear everything that's going on. That's why I'm doing this. So this first update he did was on May 30th. He says here, I just want to clarify a few things from PMs and comments and do a little journaling. First of all, I'm doing okay. I'm breathing. No plans to change that fact. My therapist recommended a low dose of Lexapro, and my GP agreed. I'm feeling that right now. You all recall the guy pretty much had a full-blown panic attack after everything that happened. I found out about the reconciliation thing from Bob, of all people. When I was telling the group chat about Emily's confession, Bob talked about how that's what you do in reconciliation, and Matt and Jim were like, haha, what the F, dude. That's when Bob confessed about doing research on reconciliation, and that he's a romantic who believes that love conquers all. I think his girlfriend is a lucky woman. I wish Bob all the best, but he's dreaming. That is fairy tale. But, reconciliation, they were getting divorced. There was no need for her to do what she did. And I stand by it to my dying breath that she did that on purpose to hurt him. Her final way to somehow come out on top. Like, you're not going to reconcile with me? Well, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you reading all those details. First, the random questions that I received. We were waiting on the notary because she was very pregnant, and she said the baby regularly uses her bladder for field goal kicking practices. When Emily read her statement to me, we were alone in the conference room. The papers were signed, dated, and notarized, and whisked away to magical legal land, so the lawyers' jobs were basically done. Then why listen to that whole thing? Okay, everything's done. Adios. Well, he listened to her do her thing. At that point, she could admit to having you-know-what with the entire city of Cleveland, Ohio, and it wouldn't affect the divorce outcome. Given the story here, I wouldn't put it past her to have relations with the entire city of Cleveland, Ohio, for goodness sake. Anybody from Cleveland? Let's hear from you in the comments section. Do you know Emily? Let's hear it. After talking with my dad, he was having a chat with the mother-in-law while all this was taking place. He's not very good with subtleties of communication, but he said that she seemed crazy and just kept talking. You mean the mother-in-law, who I'm convinced knew what Emily was going to do. I just don't trust the mother-in-law. He said she told Emily that she better do whatever the books and therapists tell her to do in order to reconcile with me that day. When I met mother-in-law, she didn't seem crazy, she just seemed very sad. I do think that explains Emily trying to speed run reconciliation. The thing I'm losing sleep over, which I probably shouldn't, is what she's thinking. I think I understand why she did it at this point. I mean, if he means not her reading that crap, but the affair. I mean, if a rich 25-year-old bikini supermodel took in after me and knew exactly what to say and do, I would at very least be tempted to cheat. Yeah, tempted and doing are two separate things. There ain't a guy out there that's married or has a girlfriend that if some smoking hot on what is equivalent to whatever a guy's idea of a perfect 10 is and wanted to hook up with him and do whatever he wanted, you can't tell me that pretty much every guy would at least for a second think about it. But that doesn't mean they're going to do it. I don't understand why she wanted to come back so badly. Dude, come on here. She wanted to come back so badly not because she deeply in love with you, because your stability. You're the rock in her life, the constant, the keystone. Not to mention some income, steady income, and she doesn't want to get divorced. It's a big humiliating thing. And she's a few years from turning 30. She'd have to start all over again. It cannot be for financial reasons. She's already proven to herself that she can get with any rich guy who will take care of her. I'm doing okay financially. I can afford to live. But she has her own business and is making good profit now. She doesn't need my paycheck in order to live. She may not need your paycheck now, but she sure as hell needed your money before when things were tough and was taken from the family emergency fund. Just because a business is profitable today, that means it's going to be profitable next year. You know? It may sound like I'm a big pushover for her, but I wasn't clingy. I didn't make her the center of my universe. I had my own life. I had my own friends. I didn't wait on her hand and foot. I did little things for her with no exception for anything in return, but isn't that the bare minimum in a relationship? Yeah. It sounds like this guy was just a regular guy, but still, he wasn't clingy or needy and all that crap that turns women off. He's a regular guy, but probably she was bored. She needed excitement, drama, because they all crave drama in varying degrees. She's already proven she doesn't respect me in our marriage. Why the hell would you want to be with someone you have no respect for in a relationship that you have no care for? Well, bro, after living 47 years on this planet, because I think he's 27, I'm 47, and doing thousands and thousands of stories on YouTube for 5 years, the reason is because, well, how many women marry guys they're not in love with? Why do they do that? Because the clock is ticking. They want to settle. They want to have a wedding. They can have their magical day. And that wedding will lead them to having kids in a family, which a great percentage want to have, in spite of what the feminists are trying to get women to do. And they want that. And they find some sucker, some guy that they don't love, to marry them, take care of things. And nowadays, with all the temptations and ease of getting attention and validation through social media, dating apps, they can have their stable guy to marry and father their kids, and they go have their fun on the side. It doesn't mean all women do this, of course. Let me make that clear. But a hell of a lot do. He says, is this just a habit? Is it the fact that she would have to train a new guy in what she likes and doesn't like? I'm not ugly, and I'm funny, and there's no other person in the world like me, and I'm special, and all that kind of PBS kids bullshit. But come on, I'm not that unique. If she were a quadriplegic burn victim, I could see how it would be tough to replace me, but she's not. She knows she's attractive. Well, that's a problem. Any room she walks into, she'll be the best-looking one, she'll be one of the best-looking ones, if not the best-looking woman in the room. She has a nice, sweet personality. Dude, really? He says, other than the adultery. And she was never, ever super dramatic or chaotic. Until she became chaotic and wanted chaos and drama in her life. Our life was pretty peaceful. She's not a single mom. She'll find somebody fairly quickly, and that guy would be a quality guy. Well, your life was peaceful, you say. She probably got bored, which happens a lot. It's sad. Men like peace and order and routine and quiet. You all know this. But it's the women that get bored and need drama. Some like this, or some just hearing about it from their girlfriends. I don't think asking a woman like Lisa or Matt's wife or Jim's wife would help because they're not cheaters. I tried to go ask a Wayward in the support for Wayward's subreddit, but they deleted my question. I guess they think I'm full of crap too. Shocker. This is Reddit after all. I'm going to have to accept that I'll never understand. Like a shooter that offs a classroom because the sky was too blue today. It's just crazy people being crazy, I guess. Well, it is crazy, but the sad thing is there are countless stories in varying degrees just like this every day out there on the internet. How do I know? Because I've been doing this for 5 fucking years. And many of you have heard a majority of that. I told my lawyer to keep a copy of Emily's confession for Lisa's divorce and send me the other copy. Now I have some quality reading material if I ever start missing Emily or romanticizing her. I thought the list I made was good, but wow, I had the silver nuclear bullet for those kinds of thoughts now. Yeah, keep that. As bad as it made him feel in the last episode, anytime he starts missing her or missing what he thought of her and all that, he can just read those things and he can throw up and get back on track. He's going to go through this. As much as this guy's handled things well and he's been funny as hell with his storytelling and this has been therapy for him and we're all rooting for him, he's going to have moments that's going to be a roller coaster. He might be missing what he had and think, maybe something went wrong or maybe I give him another chance. No, don't do that. Now to another update, which I guess he did this morning. Says, I want to clarify why I sat through Emily's statement. That's the number one question. At least it was for me. First, it absolutely was not a condition of the divorce. There's no legal stipulation possible where someone can make someone listen to a speech in order to sign divorce papers. I did it as a favor to Emily because she, through the mother-in-law, said it would help her in her therapy. Well, no good deed goes unpunished, and this is a perfect example. You shouldn't have done it, man. You didn't owe her anything. It sounded legit to me because it seems like to me that improving your life after something like this would mean admitting your fault to the person you've wronged, which is what she did. What she did, dude, was dump salt in the wound and rub it in and hurt you. I stand by it that this was not reconciliation. This is a final F you for dare not reconciling and giving me a second chance. She knew reading all that crap was going to hurt you. Come on here. I know he probably doesn't want to think that ever, but look at everything she's done. The problem is she didn't just say, I'm sorry. It's on me. You did nothing to deserve this. She also treated me like some kind of Catholic priest and tried to confess all her sins in detail, which I didn't sign up for. Well, she certainly did confess a lot. He didn't read everything she said because it was too hurtful for him, but it was bad. And I guarantee you she didn't tell him everything. I don't think she was deliberately trying to hurt me, which ironically makes it worse. No, dude. Bro, come on. We all love you here, but there's no... She's not on purpose. I think she's just that out of it. To a certain degree, it might be on me because I've been completely no contact with her. No, this is not on you. You've done nothing wrong, brother. No, don't start thinking that. However, in my defense, in my letter to her, I think I made it quite clear I have no intention of reconciling. Maybe mother-in-law didn't read that letter because it was sent to Emily. I don't know, maybe she's getting pressure from mother-in-law and father-in-law. I told you not to trust mother-in-law. Mother-in-law wants you back. Until the details, it was kind of cathartic to hear her take complete responsibility for it and not put any blame on me, which seems typical in these situations. I just wish it had stopped right there. Hindsight, my man. When she started going into detail, I sort of froze like I couldn't believe what I was hearing. That I can believe. Sometimes we're in situations where something comes out of left field and we're so blindsided we don't know what to say or do. Like, is she really saying this shit? Am I being pranked? I was in shock, and then the fight or flight kicked in. I couldn't very well throw my fist across her jaw to shut her up, so I got up and ran. As for the $7,500 thing, it's completely optional. The money is being held aside somehow, escrow, I think. I'm not sure. It's not a condition of the divorce and has absolutely nothing to do with it. Completely separate thing. I think it made it clear, but apparently not. I realize it's a ploy. Remember, there was a part of this whole thing that he gets paid $7,500, which clearly is being held in escrow account, that if Emily or mother-in-law, anybody contacts him within a year, he gets $7,500. And I believe that's the situation. And that $7,500 is being held, that he meets with her 1 year in the future, I guess, for her to probably hope that he'll miss her enough. And no matter what, he gets $7,500. I say, unless he is in truly dire straits financially, which doesn't sound like he is, don't do it. He's got to move on. The idea, I'm sure, is that absence will make the heart grow fonder, and we'll miss each other like crazy, and then 1 year later, after we haven't seen each other, we'll meet again, and the music will rise, and we'll run slow motion into each other's arms, and I'll start singing a romantic song about reuniting with true love from a long absence like a Broadway musical. Then grab her, dip her, and kiss her longingly, cue to the wedding bells. And he says, not gonna happen. So there you go. Our guy still has a sense of humor. That's his updates, because a lot of people were asking questions. And I know you guys wanted me to do this video because several of you wrote in, SSM, he did an update. So I'm doing this update. But anyhow, again, as I've been saying a bazillion times, take it one day at a time, brother. It sounds like this is official now. I think he said he's got another month or so, has to go through some channels, but basically this is it. And I would not advise he jumps into another relationship. Hell, I would advise probably he takes a good 6 months or so on his own, not dating. Again, a lot of people think, well, women think, oh, just get back on that horse and start dating. No, gotta be alone for a while, work on your shit. He needs to join a gym or get some exercise one day at a time, spend time with his dad, hanging out with his bros, hobbies, interests. Don't bring the Transformers in the bathtub. You almost gave me a heart attack mentioning that last time. As an 80s kid, God sakes here. And, It's going to be a roller coaster, but he's going to be all right. And then down the road, if he wants to maybe get some ass, because he mentioned in previous episodes some women were obviously interested in him, maybe then, but take it slow. That's all I can say. And I guarantee you there is no way that Emily's going to go an entire year trying to reach out. There is no way. Nobody here, I don't think anybody thinks that that's going to... If she goes a month without reaching out to him or his ex-mother-in-law, I'll be surprised. But we shall see. So, wish this guy all the best. Now, I'm going to read a couple comments. Whole comment section is awesome. Everybody's on this guy's side. One guy says here, I would love to see Emily try to date in the future after all this. It should be hilarious to watch her and the guy listening to it attempt to explain all this shit. Explaining to her new potential boyfriend and being honest about it. Don't worry, I'm like a new person now, she'd say. Yeah, well, I guarantee any new boyfriends in the future, she's not going to tell all this, and she'll probably paint the picture that it was this dude's fault, because that's generally what they do. Another one, this guy says, I'm just going to call it. Emily will meet and marry some rich dude through her work, have some kids with him, and then find out in a few years he's been cheating on her the entire time. Probably, or she'll be cheating on him. And one more, this guy says, Jesus, man, my fight or flight kicked in reading this. I've never had someone do that to me, and I've been cheated on multiple times. I'm so sorry you had gone through this dude. Seriously, I hope that you have the best year of your goddamn life going forward. Keep going to therapy and attack pain points like you're trying to off a single little fly in the kitchen. Show yourself some love, and I hope you remember that you are worth more than you, and you're appreciated from this monster. And also a huge W to your dad for being there in the way that he was. That is awesome. So there you go. I can go all day reading the nice comments from people and the funny comment. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. I just said that. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.